Hey, Bearcats. It's Mr. Patterson here with Mr. Colin, and we're just sending out this video to try to make you all smile. So we've been talking about some different things here, and one of the things that we were talking about was, I don't know if you know this or not, but before I started working at Walton Verona Elementary School, I worked in a middle school. And Mr. Colin here worked at Walton Verona High School, and you've worked in high school your whole life, right?
Yeah, I've been
Yes.
at four different high schools. So
Four
yeah.
different high schools. So Mr. Colin has seen quite a bunch of different high school situations. And we are kind of reminiscing here and laughing. When we started working in an elementary school, what was the moment that hit us where it was like, oh, okay, I'm in an elementary school and this is no longer for me a middle school, or for Mr. Colin, high school. And I think for me, the moment was, this was last year when I was the assistant principal. I had a student, and as the assistant principal, one of the things you do is when students misbehave, you got to go work with them and talk with them and do that. And so I was doing that with a student. I was a kindergartner, and little guy had gotten in trouble, and we were sitting there and we were talking about the things that he had done, and more importantly, the things he could start doing to correct that behavior. And it was a really, really good conversation. And I got finished talking to him, and I said, hey, buddy, do you understand everything? Do you have any questions for me? And the little guy looked at me and he's like, yeah, Mr. Patterson, I got a question for you. Can I give you a hug? And I was like, oh, okay. So come in here, and I gave the guy a hug. Unbelievably sweet moment. But coming from a middle school, that would never, ever happen in a million years. And it's, honest to goodness, one of the things that I love about working in an elementary school is just how sweet the kids are. Even when they've done something that they know that they shouldn't have, they're sweet. And I really miss that. It's one of the things that I'm missing about the building, is just seeing all of our sweet little faces around, and they always cheer me up. Mr. Colin, you got a moment where you kind of got hit with the realization, oh, I'm not in high school anymore?
Well, it was the first day of school, and at the high school, you're used to bells dismissing kids and bells telling you to go from place to place, and the kids just go place to place, and you hear the bell and you go till the next bell. And on my first day, my wife actually asked me what time we got out of school. And I said, I have no clue what time we get out of school, because because we had to load the buses, we had to make sure everybody's on the right bus, and it wasn't just the bell rang, and it was typically at the high school, it's just see you tomorrow. At the
They gone.
elementary, walk them to the bus. You have to make sure they're on there. That was a big shock, because I had never been through anything like a dismissal at an elementary.
It
So
is
that was
it is a
definitely
very,
like
very different thing. And when you're walking down and you're taking kiddos to the bus, especially the kindergartners, you're walking along and all of a sudden someone is grabbing your hand like that. That didn't happen at middle school. I don't know what happened for you at high school, but that was certainly not happening at middle school. Nobody was grabbing my hand. I love it. I miss it. And one of the other things that we were talking about is um, one of the things that I think Mr. Colin and I are both known for is, while we're serious and we do our job, we know how to laugh. We know how to have a good time. And one of the things that I've had students, especially my older ones, my third and fourth graders here at Walton Verona, they will call me out on dad jokes. I got kind of a corny sense of humor, and I make up jokes, and they're bad. They're bad, but to me, they're funny. And the kids are like, Mr. Patterson, that was a dad joke. And I know Mr. Colin throws some jokes around as well. And the thing about Mr. Colin, and it's one of my favorite things about him being the assistant principal with me, is that Mr. Colin is ready to laugh, and Mr. Colin knows how to laugh. He's got a great laugh, and that's one of the things that I miss. So what I got here for you, Mr. Colin, I got some jokes we're going to go through, and my goal is to get you to laugh. I want you to laugh, and Bearcats out there that are watching this, I hope you laughed. The key time that I always did dad jokes was the cafeteria. And that was the time that I got to see the students the most and really talk and interact with them. And I think Mr. Collins probably the same there. So just in case you are missing some of our dad jokes that we drop, I got some ready for you. So
All right.
prepare yourself. And some of them are really funny. I think they're funny. You may not think they're so funny. So if you might need to prepare yourself for these dad jokes. Get a good seat.
All right,
So,
can't wait.
You can't wait. All right. The setup is probably a lot better than the actual jokes themselves. So hey, this the other day, this week the weather's been really cold. It's been awful, but last week the weather was nice out. I was outside in the backyard playing with my kids in the evening, and I was hanging out with my kids, and we're playing. The weather's nice, and I noticed something. It was really strange. I saw this frisbee, and it kept getting bigger and bigger, and then it hit me.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah, that's dad joke right there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. Hey, Mr. Colin, here's a little fun fact for you. I don't know if you know this, but I'm gonna set you straight on this one. Did you know that a kangaroo can jump higher than a house? This is true. A kangaroo can jump higher than a house. It makes total sense to me though, because I mean, houses, they can't jump. Houses don't jump.
That's a pretty solid dad joke.
It's true. That is a solid dad joke. I've watched my house. I've done research to see if it would jump, and it hasn't ever jumped. I've tried. This was actually before we had hired you last year to be our assistant principal. We had a job that was opened up here, and we offered that job to an invisible man. He interviewed great. The invisible man had all the right answers. And we tried offering the job to the invisible man, but when it came to it, he ended up turning us down. And I asked him, I was like, why don't you want this job? And he said, I see myself doing.
I missed the end of that one. We had static.
Oh no, the invisible man can't see himself doing the job. And which reminds me of something. Reminds me for myself. So every now and again, I have these moments and I'm like, man, okay, I became a teacher and then I became a principal, and I've been doing this job. I've been working in education for quite a while now. And I thought to myself, what would I do if I ever left education, if I no longer worked in education? And I think I found my career. If I were to leave education, I think I would become a professional window cleaner, because it's really something I could just see myself doing. I blew that one. That's supposed to be a mirror cleaner. Mirror cleaner. Let's back up.
Oh, I just thought maybe you got that during
cleaner.
NTI days.
That's NTI days. Yes. That. So last night I was hanging out. Kids are in the living room. I'm in the kitchen with my wife, and she looked at me and she goes, "My name's Luke. For those of you that don't know," she goes, "Luke, you have to stop acting like a flamingo." And that was it. I had to put my foot down. That's high quality dad joke right there. This is true. This is a true story about me. Most people are shocked when they find out how bad of an electrician I am. They're absolutely shocked.
Oh!
It took them. The delay on the laugh is what makes it really, really good. So I was putting these together, these jokes, and I was working on this vegetable joke that I really, really liked, but I've decided not to share it. It's corny. Oh, man. Every now and again, I'll be kind of hanging out in the backyard, and I'm outside, and I'll look up in the sky, and I'll start thinking about space and planets and stuff and astronomy. Do you ever think about those things, Mr. Colin? Just, man, how big the universe is and all that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Astronomy is such an interesting field. And you know what? The rotation of the Earth, that alone, the rotation of the Earth, that makes my day. I mean, that's good stuff right there, the rotation of the Earth.
Sure is. Good old
It is
Copernicus
good
and
stuff.
Galileo,
Man,
Newton.
so we had this cold snap come in, and I've been a little chilly in my house. I'm kind of cheap. I don't like to turn the thermostat up real high. And so whenever I get cold, I like to go stand in the corner. It's always 90 degrees. always 90 degrees over there.
Oh,
So I was
there's the
talking.
math background right there.
There it
Well
is, dropping
done.
a little bit of that. Yeah, I was a math teacher for those of you that didn't know that. I was talking to a ghost the other day. I didn't know if you know, I could actually talk to ghosts. And this particular
Oh,
ghost,
exciting.
normally a nice fella, but he tried telling me a lie, and I could see right through him. He couldn't get one past me. That's because you can see through ghosts if they are real. All right, so and this is my last one, Mr. Colin. So brace yourself. I don't really care. You didn't know this. Sometimes Mr. Colin have a chance, and I have a chance where we could eat together, but it's hard running a school. You know, a lot of times he's eating and I'm doing something, or if I grab a bite, he's doing something. So it's hard to eat. So you may not know all my eating habits, but here's one I wanted to share with you. I don't really care for jalapenos, the pepper. I don't like jalapenos. And it's not because they're spicy. I don't like jalapenos because they're nosy. They're always jalapeno business. I don't like that about them. I don't like them being jalapeno my business. All right, that's the end of my dad joke. I know I
I
made
like it. That's
Mr.
a good.
Colin smile. Those were incredibly bad dad jokes. But the thing that makes a dad joke a solid dad joke is that it's a bad joke, but you kind of smile anyway. We find a little humor. So Bearcats, I hope that made you smile. And I hope that everybody's doing well, staying healthy and safe at their houses. And just know that I miss you a ton. And I hope to get to see all of you very soon. We don't know when that'll be, but we miss you. Mr. Colin, you want to say anything to the students?
Just that I miss you too. I miss the mornings, the afternoons, getting to see you guys, and just our typical routine. It's kind of hard to have that all go away so quickly and just have everything change so dramatically. So yeah, we all miss you.
You guys have been working extra hard, doing a great job with that in the NTI days, so make sure you keep that up. And we will see you when we see you. So long.
Bye.